Welcome on back to another comic book flashback. I'm Marvel with Cross 316, and we are looking at Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 6. The title of today's issue is Big Time Superhero. So, as the title suggests here, Spider-Man will be going up against his very first supervillain in the Ultimate Universe today. So, I'm so excited to go ahead and look at this issue today. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a like and then also subscribe if you have not, and let's go ahead and get started. So today we start out the issue here. We are at the Daily Bugle, and so now we not only see Spider-Man go up against a big-time supervillain in this issue, but we're also introduced to the Ultimate Universe Daily Bugle and J. Jonah Jameson here. And we see that J. Jonah Jameson is in a conference right now with the rest of his staff here, and they are looking at the different newspapers that are also the competitors to the Daily Bugle. We have the New York Globe, we have the New York Journal, and then we also have the Daily Bugle. We see that the New York Globe has been, publishing stuff about the webbed wonder wows the city. We also have the New York Journal saying Spider-Man Among Us. But the Daily Bugle has been publishing Osborn's Burning. Remember from last issue how Harry Osborn had escaped his house because this big maniac, this demon-looking dude, had basically destroyed the Osborn mansion and also killed Harry Osborn's mom. And so that's what the Daily Bugle has been publishing lately. But Jameson wants more story on Spider-Man. He's pretty new to this universe here. And so J. Jonah Jameson wants everything, all the dirt on this superhero, because he's trying to see if there's any connections between Spider-Man and also, is he like a mutant? Where did he come from? Does he really crawl walls? And is he connected to the wrestler? And so that wrestler, remember, Peter Parker started out as a wrestler, and now he's not working in that company anymore. But that got some big news as we remember how Peter Parker, with his new abilities, was able to take down these big wrestlers. And he was a big star at that point, but as we know, Peter Parker has left the wrestling business and now he is going to be the Spider-Man that we know. And so he tells Ben Urich here, and that's this guy right here, to go and dig up some more info on what's been going on with Spider-Man, try to find as much as he can. We see that he mentions the Kingpin, so Kingpin is also in this universe, and Jameson's like, Kingpin will get what he deserves soon, but I just feel that Spider-Man is the new OJ. We need to figure out, is he a hero or is he a villain? Is he a con artist or is he a crook? We need to get this because our paper is just not doing well compared to our competitors. So now let's see what is going on in the life of Peter Parker. Peter Parker is now, recovering from the death of Uncle Ben from last issue, but we come to find out that Peter Parker has also been studying his dad's formula, and that formula has allowed Peter Parker to develop his webbing. So now he has developed his web shooters for his Spider-Man costume. And so now we see that Spider-Man will now be able to swing around the city, and that is just great because, how can he not be Spider-Man without his webbing? He also adds webbing design to his costumes. Now we are definitely seeing the traditional Spider-Man here. We have the web shooters, we have the traditional costume design. So Peter Parker looks good to go. Aunt May calls from above, tells Peter Parker he needs to get some sleep. Peter Parker said he's doing homework. Of course he's not doing that. And the next day, he is snoring in class. He's, having a hard time, staying awake in this class. The teacher awakens him, and then he breaks another desk. He said, "This is the second desk in a week that you have destroyed." And he's like, "I'm going to have to tell the coach about this." Peter Parker reveals that he has quit the basketball team, and we could see the surprise on Kong's face here. He's like, "What? So Kong talks with Peter Parker after class. He's like, "Why did you quit the team?" So, I had some things going on, personal stuff, and nothing against the team. It wasn't for me. And Kong's like, "Man, you were like the best player in the world. How could you do that? I mean, that's just a load of crap. And who cares about what your uncle's?" And Mary Jane's like holding up against, supporting Peter Parker here. And she's like, "Hey, hold on, Kong. Don't mention his uncle." And then Peter Parker's like, "Well, that's just great. Thanks for the support, pal." And then we see Harry Osborn. We haven't seen Harry Osborn since, the death of his mother and the destruction of his mansion. And so Harry Osborn is back in school. Everybody's so concerned about Harry. They found out what happened to him. And then, Harry Osborn's acting very weird here. He's like, "Well, I'm just not dead." He's not acting concerned about it. All of a sudden, Peter Parker's spider sense goes off. We see that there is big destruction here within the school. There's like an explosion. So what the heck is going on here? Everybody's starting to panic out. There's another boom right here. Everybody is evacuating the building here. The teacher is telling him to get out, telling everybody to get out. And then Harry Osborn reveals that he knows who is responsible for this. And Peter Parker's like, "What?" So everybody's escaping. Everybody's out of the building. Harry's like, he's coming for me." And everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" There's another explosion. And he's like, "Somebody help me, he's here." And then we see Spider-Man comes on the scene here. He's going to save the day. He's going to figure out what the heck is going on, who's responsible for the destruction of the school. But we also see that Mary Jane mentions, "Oh, Peter didn't make it out." So we go 2 minutes in the past here. We see that Peter Parker had rushed to the bathroom to change to Spider-Man, but then he realized that if he did that, he would have to explain how Spider-Man got in the school, and then people would put two and two together as they know that Peter Parker was bitten by a spider. And so what did Peter Parker do? He leaps out of the building through the exit here that people don't know about, and then he changes to Spider-Man, and here we go to the present day. Spider-Man comes on the scene. Great artwork here by Mark Bagley here. And so Spider-Man jumps into the building. The sprinklers are everywhere, smoke everywhere, and through the smoke he sees this demonic-looking creature, and it looks just like that person that was responsible for the death of Harry Osborn's mom and the destruction of the Osborn mansion. And so here is a good close-up of this right here, this supervillain right here. He's going to be fighting Spider-Man within this issue. So here we go right here. Peter Parker, as Spider-Man, says, "Hey, are you the new home ec teacher?" So Spider-Man already going with his wisecracks here. And then we see that this guy throws a fireball at Spider-Man. Spider-Man leaps out of the way. Spider-Man punches this guy into the locker. And so Spider-Man is like, "Man, what is up with you? Why are you trying to destroy the school?" And so Spider-Man continues to fight him. This guy seems to just not be going down. He's putting up a valiant fight against this supervillain here. I mean, he's dodging all of this guy's, punches. Spider-Man starts to climb up the wall, but then all of a sudden, this guy leaps into the air, grabs a hold of Spider-Man, and now they are thousands of feet in the air. And then, on top of that, he starts to mumble. Throughout this issue, he is mumbling this word, Parker. So this supervillain here knows who Spider-Man is, and so that's very dangerous. And so what is going to happen next issue as we continue this storyline as Spider-Man is fighting this supervillain? I'll go ahead and say it. This is the Green Goblin. This is the Green Goblin universe, Ultimate Universe Green Goblin here. And so we see that Spider-Man's very first supervillain is the Green Goblin. What's going to happen next issue as we look at issue number 7? I hope to see you next time. And until next time, keep reading comics.